What's going on, guys? Killer6, and today I'm launching the first of my guides on the pearlescent items in Borderlands 4. At the time that I'm recording this, there are currently 15 pearlescents, and believe it or not, most of them are pretty darn good. In this series, I'll tell you where to find these items and some of the best roles and perks to look for to maximize their effectiveness. Up first is the Gomie. This pearlescent assault rifle is manufactured by Jacobs, and the red text reads, "Still got it." And the special ability of this gun is Ascending Storm. On hit, gain a stack of Firestorm. Each stack increases weapon damage by 5%. Reloading unleashes Firestorm on nearby enemies, and I'll show that off here in just a moment. The Gomie is one of 8 new pearlescents that have been added to the base game in Borderlands 4, meaning that you don't need to own any DLC to get any of these 8. The easiest way to obtain any of these 8 is via Golden Key Chest in any of the major hub cities, otherwise Splash Zone, Nightmare Rifts, the Ripper Roadbird's drill site, Immortal Boneface's drill site, any of those places where you can get a bunch of like badass enemies and bosses. I found that the Ripper Roadbirds, since you get 3 bosses there, I've gotten several that way. I've also found a bunch while farming Radix, the vault boss in Carcadia, via drops from him or from his 2 chests after beating him, and it does appear that pearls happen in chests more often than from drops, for what that's worth. Now at level 60, the stats on this one are 4,748 damage, 83% accuracy, 2-second reload, 7.5 shots per second, and a mag size of 24. This one also features the maximum crit modifier of 134%. There are some roles that you need to look for on this gun to maximize its damage. First up is Daedalus Alt Fire and Ripper Mag. If you can get both of those together, you've got a really good roll. Now with Ripper, you will have that initial charge up time, but after that, just hold down your trigger and watch everything die. Even without that Ripper roll though, the Gomie is capable of being fired as fast as you can pull the trigger, but Ripper definitely helps reduce that hand fatigue at the cost of the initial charge up. For the build that I'm using, it's a slight variation on Lazy Data's Burr Rafa, which is designed for infinite ammo and gun damage. I'll link that build in the video description if you want to check that out. I'm using a Super Soldier Shield for movement speed and fire rate bonuses. We would get more damage out of a Watts for Dinner shield, but I wanted the gun to be the showcase, not the effects of the shield. I'm using a suboptimal Dancer class mod, a legendary Jacobs enhancement, crit knife, and a triple bypass rep kit. Starting off with some mobbing. Now I love farming drill sites in this game. They're like bite-sized slaughter maps from previous games, but you can repeat these as much as you want and as quick as you like. It's also a good place to show off mobbing with a little bit of bossing as well, and that's really good for these item showcases. For this one, we went to the Meathead Riders drill site in the southeastern part of Terminus Range, where the boss will be Immortal Boneface. Now the Gomie makes short work of most of the enemies, and having near infinite ammo makes this so much more time efficient by removing the need to reload. However, removing that need to reload also prevents this gun from taking advantage of its main perk, Ascending Storm. You know, the thing where you build up a bunch of stacks, then you reload and it does damage. The best way for me to explain how that actually works is to say, if you've ever used the Firework Shield in this game, then you know how awesome it is when it just tracks down enemies for you and nukes them. Well, the Gomie's special ability is a lot like that. Not quite as powerful as the Firework Shield from my experience, but it's easily capable of inflicting some substantial harm on nearby enemies. You can still use Bullet Buddy Deluxe and utilize the effects of Ascending Storm just by forcing your gun to reload every once in a while. Same is true for Harlow builds or Vex or Amon builds that are utilizing ammo restoration perks. Just miss a shot, force the reload, send out the Ascending Storm, watch it kill things in the distance. Now, is the Gomie the strongest assault rifle in the game? No, not even really close to the best. That would be the Crow Sourced, which we'll cover in the next video on the pearlescent guides. But even though it's not the strongest, it has great utility and it's one of the most fun mobbing weapons in the game. Pair it with a Firework Shield anytime you plan to run large mobbing zones like the drill sites, and that combo will just completely wipe the map for you. So let's break down the pros and the cons of this gun and decide which Vault Hunters and playstyle it's best suited for. So for the pros first, we got decent fire rate, exceptional accuracy, easiest pearl to obtain, or at least so it seems, because that's the one that I've got the most of. Jacobs assault rifle means tons of ricochet shots, so it's great for mobbing. It is strong, it is dependable. Now for the cons, it does struggle a little bit versus bosses. It's slow on the reload, always non-elemental because it's Jacobs, but the pearlescent override can mitigate that. You know, you just find the right pearlescent override for whatever you're about to take on. Too much variance in the damage based on the parts that it rolls with, in my opinion. I've seen as low as 11,854 DPS and then as high as double that at 25,132 DPS. The mag size variance is also bad too, because you can have as low as 14 or as high as 24. I really feel like Pearlescents need to have a more locked in part set for how rare they're supposed to be, but as of recording this video, the 8 base game world drop pearls all drop pretty much more often than you'd expect anyhow, so I guess you can sort of mitigate the parts thing by just sheer volume of how many you're gonna get. So who is this gun for? Honestly, every Vault Hunter can use this as a great mobbing tool. Obviously in the hands of Infinite Ammo Harlow or Rafa, this thing can just shred, but Vex has plenty of use for it and can take advantage of the elemental perks of Ascending Storm's reload. Same for Amon, who can utilize that fire damage that comes out from that to boost other perks as well. This is a solid Pearlescent, and it's good to see Gearbox not only adding 8 new pearls to the base game, but also doing their best to make them actually good. I hope you guys enjoyed this item guide on the Gomie. Up next will be the Crow Source, like I said earlier, but let me know in the comment section down below what pearl do you think is the strongest and the weakest in the game. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.